welcome to you. Actually, my name is Owen. So tonight we're going to be doing a versus with Mortal Kombat 1995 against the kind of semi-reboot from 2021. I've been looking forward to doing this for a while because I was going to do a write-up on the site, but couldn't really be bothered. So I thought, oh no, this will be more fun to actually just chat about and see what the results are. We have a poll as well, which I posted the other day, and we actually got some pretty decent feedback from it. So before we get on to that, I'm just going to bring in the team. So first up is Sean. Hey, all right. Next up is Stephen. Hello there.
Hello. I'll give you the verbal response. Sean gave you the Queen's Wave.
Yeah. just salute. Saying he's doing it. Next up is Charlie. Except it's not like men. Why isn't it like Charlie? What did I do?
We lost.
Hi.
All right. Well, I'm bringing John in and said, never mind, Charlie. There's Charlie. That's
I'm back.
Okay. And finally,
I did the whole teleport thing. You didn't know I could do that?
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know what happened there. Yeah.
That was weird.
I kept pressing add and it wasn't doing it. And I was like, wow, even the system doesn't like Charlie. What the hell?
Wow. I'll just go over here. It's cool.
It was Sarinda Swan. She
really? Already? We'll just start the show like that every week.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, come on,
Charlie. The woman Charlie hates.
It has to be gotten.
Flawless victory.
There you go.
Right, so we're also going to be discussing tonight, which I didn't mention. It's not technically part of the verses, but we got to mention Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and I'll hand the con over to J-Man and Sean for that one because they may have controversial opinions on that one. So we're going first off, we're going to talk about the 1995 film, which I think to most people is the one we all grew up with, and it's just iconic and one of our personal favorite adaptations of a video game. I love the cast of the banger of a theme tune. Kariho Kitagawa, who will always be my Shang Tsung. The other guy, whatever his name was from The Dark Knight, Shang Tsung in the reboot or whatever. I just like he was so bland, but we'll get to that. Anyway,
he's the guy from Marco Polo. He was that chancellor from Marco Polo.
So he was. That's what Marco Polo was good.
Yeah, that was good. He was a piece of garbage, awesome character, but an asshole in that.
Yeah, he's good at playing villains, but anyway, we'll talk about him later on. Anyway, so we're going to start off with Stephen. So, what are your thoughts on the 1995 Mortal Kombat?
Well, it's my favorite video game adaptation of all time. I think Mortal Kombat is awesome. I missed Mortal Kombat when it came out. Strangely enough, I was in Street Fighter 2. I was like, Mortal Kombat, never heard of it. And then I started to hear this buzz about like these fatalities and stuff, and like the Sub-Zero, the spine rip and all that, which I never actually saw because I ended up playing Mortal Kombat on a Nintendo port, Super Nintendo port, and it basically took all the fun out, all the good fatalities. You got the very bloodless fatalities. But by the time MK2 rolled around, I was right in there. And like, I remember the buzz for MK3 was crazy. And I think that's around when the movie came out, or shortly after the movie. The movie came out shortly before 3, I think. I have no idea. I think I get
something like that, yeah.
Like that. But the movie is incredible. I love it. It's got one of my favorite themes of all time. Thank you. I have it on my iPod. Yes, I'm old. I have.
Me too. I got one.
I have it on my I have it on my iPod. Unfortunately, yes. It literally had the genius of that movie is its simplicity. It didn't try to oversaturate you with a lot of characters. It was basically the main 7, and then they added Reptile, who was in the first game, so it kind of counts, and Katana, who wasn't. She was in part 2. But they really did try and get the essence of the game. Kano became Australian because of that movie. He wasn't Australian until he got portrayed by an Australian in Mortal Kombat, and he was iconic. Everyone knows the nut punch from Johnny Cage into Goro. That was I remember laughing hysterically when I first saw that, and to this day I still laugh hysterically whenever that happens. I think Lyndon Ashby, I think that's who played Johnny Cage. He was
Yes.
so very underrated as Johnny Cage. He really embodied that character perfectly. But all the characters were cast so perfectly. As Owen said, Carrie, and I'm not going to try and say the last name, because I have a mental block saying his last name for some strange reason. But Shang Tsung, that is Shang Tsung. No one else. They got back for the games. They got him back for the web series. That is Shang Tsung. The movie is genius. It gives you everything you want from the games, but it's still an enjoyable movie. It's still an enjoyable yarn. Bridget Wilson is smoking as Sonya Blade. Loved her in that movie, and maybe want to go see Billy Madison. I know what he did last summer. So yeah, I love Mortal Kombat. I think it's my favorite game movie. I know it's my favorite video game movie of all time.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. The nut punch is brilliant. This is the part where you fall down. Yeah, I just love that. I mean, that's just classic. But yeah, the theme tune is amazing. I love the visuals for Outworld and everything too,
Yeah.
the set design and everything like that. The other thing I would say is, like, obviously it's very early CG, so like Reptile looks terrible, but it's kind of part of the charm at the same time. So I know it kind of doesn't really bother me that much. So anyway, Sean.
I was really into the arcade games like everyone else. More so part 2 than part 1. Part 1, I saw the cynicism of it. It's just like a gory thing with like a lot of like digital figures and stuff to make them look realistic. Part 2 I was really into. I had that for Super Nintendo, and it was pretty awesome. And part 3 I was really fascinated by because, of course, the story, they take it for Annihilation, is Earth gets invaded. And so they're fighting in a post-apocalyptic Earth. That's pretty cool. I read the novelization for the movie before it came out. I was so excited for it. It was this one of these small scholastic things. You could read it in like a Sunday, right?
They fight.
It was awesome.
Nice.
And
It is awesome.
They flesh out the characters. It's like Goro is this big, like, honorable guy.
Yeah.
and when he's about to die, they have this big exchange between Goro and Cage, and it's pretty cool. They didn't do that in the movie, and I was kind of disappointed by that. But I realized, of course, book and movie is going to be different, even though it's an adaptation of the movie. But I loved, so the dance music stuff was never in the games. It was purely a marketing thing. It was in the radio and TV ads. And I loved the TV ad version of that dance theme. And they changed it for the movie, but it's the same. It's adjacent. It's the same kind of thing. I loved it. Yesterday, I went down a rabbit hole of all the different Olympic and world champion figure skating routines that use the Mortal Kombat theme for the past 20 years. It's like Russians love it. I don't know what the hell it is. It's like, it's awesome. But yeah, it's iconic as a result. George S. Clinton, not to be confused with George Clinton, the Funk Master. George S. Clinton went on to
confused him for so many years.
Yeah. It's like, it's the same guy. No, it's not. No, but he also did the Austin Powers theme, which is another unconventional thing, not your typical orchestral thing. It's pretty cool. Look, part 1, like the 95 movie came out when part 2 had come out. At the end of the end credits, it says, "Go play Mortal Kombat 2 in arcades." Right? It hadn't even come out for our consoles yet, so there wasn't a lot of lore. And they did a lot with what they had for part 1 and 2. And I love that it just takes everything for granted the way we want it to be. It's like there's no explanation about how anyone has powers or anything. They just do because they're that skilled. Done. You know, there's another dimension. They have to fight guys in that other dimension. Finished. They then take all of that exposition stuff and throw it into the characters. The characters are charming and fun. It's like Star Wars. It's like there's 3 guys, they all kibitz. It's great. I love that movie as a result. And the thing is, it's one of those movies that got it, and video game movies didn't get it for another 20 years or so after that. And I mean, we're gonna talk about the 2021 version, but you know, hey, it is what it is. But yeah, no, I love Mortal Kombat. I love all the video game stuff they put in. They try to do as much fan service as possible, but it's a lot of fun. So yeah.
Okay. Just look at some of these comments here. So Christopher Lambert, as much as I love the looks of the face being an Asian going true, but it's Christopher Lambert,
It's
so we'll let it
Christopher
pass.
Lambert,
It's the Highlander, so therefore he can do whatever he wants.
Yep.
That's not a problem. And then Goro looked fantastic. Okay, Puppet Goro or CG Goro? I'm going to go with Puppet. Always Puppet.
100%. This is my Goro, man. The other one looks like they took him out of that Warcraft fucking movie.
Yeah.
With all the ogres and shit. Just added extra arms to him.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so John.
Good lord. So like I'm not as adverse in the video games like you guys are. I mean, like I played it like in the arcade because there was an arcade next to the movie theater where I grew up. So I played Mortal Kombat and everything. But actually, it's kind of near and dear to me because I saw this movie as a kind of a celebration because I just got my first degree black belt in Kempo and then Mortal Kombat came out. So I was like, hey, so I went with all my friends and students and stuff like that to go see it. I mean, in terms of a video game adaptation, I don't know why like they did this one so well, and then afterwards it was like, okay, every video game adaptation is going to be complete or mostly utter shit, so I don't really get it. But I mean, in terms of not having the violence, I was okay with that, but because I mean, this is like a who's who of 90s direct-to-video action stars. I mean, Leo Lee, Jeff Amada, it's like all these guys, Chris Casamassa, it's like all these guys, like, and then it's like Robin Show was this. I mean, I was a big Robin Show fan, because I started watching his Hong Kong movies like before Mortal Kombat, so I was already a fan of his.
Tiger Cage 3.
What's that?
Was it Tiger Cage 3? He was in Robin Show.
2.
Two.
Yeah. I believe it was 2. Yeah, because that was Donnie and Funny John Salviti. Yeah, I believe it was 2. Yeah. But yeah, so I was getting into him, so I was like all excited, and just like the opening of the movie, it's like. It's like it's just if that doesn't get you, if that does not get you into the mood to watch the Mortal Kombat movie, nothing will. It's like, and then and they play it, and then like the synth music that they have all throughout it, the fight choreography looked like it was taken out of the video games. Everybody was on board. Lyndon Ashby, obviously he wasn't a martial artist. He put the work in though. And so I loved him as Johnny Cage. I thought he was kind of a low key Johnny Cage.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of dug it. He wasn't over the top. I don't know like how Carl Urban's going to be, but we'll talk about it because he hasn't been exposed yet. Bridget, I had like I thought she was the weakest in terms of martial arts. It's like, yeah.
Who cares?
Good looking. She's, but in terms of the fighting, I'm just talking about the fighting. Listen, I'll look at her all day and every day of the week and twice on Sunday, but it's like I just thought she was the weakest in terms of the martial arts. But I watch it all the time. I mean, it's one of those movies where I'll be like, oh, I have to review this movie, Mortal Kombat. It's like, oh, review Mortal Kombat. It's like, so I mean, it's just like I said, it's just one of the best video game adaptations. The fighting is spotless. I mean, and like I said, it's a who's who, and Christopher Lambert. I mean, he's the only person you could put in that role that's not Asian. Everybody's like, okay, I'm good with it. Like, because he's such a presence on screen, And Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa, I mean, Shang Tsung, I mean, he was. It's like he was. It's like he's Shang Tsung and like Hiroyuki Tagawa is in the video game. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like he's that perfect for the role. And I kind of like the banter between like Robin Show and Lyndon Ashby. I like the beginning where he's like telling him to take his bags and put them in the boat, and he's like, no, I got it. He takes the money, he just takes the case and drops it in the water. I mean, and it's just fun. I mean, it's PG-13, so people were bitching like about the no violence and stuff like that, but I didn't have a problem with it as long as it had ass kicking in it. I was good. So yeah. Like I said, I'm biased because it's. It means so much to me in terms of, when it came out and stuff like that. So, but we'll talk about the newer one, stuff like that.
Shout out to Robin Shaw, though, for whenever I was watching him in the Tiger Cage movies. He has the best posture I have ever seen in anybody. I was walking, and he's like up against. I was like, man, I wish I could be that confident. He's just a really good posture. So congratulations, sir, on your excellent posture.
Okay.
So anyway, well, J-Man, do you want to go last or? Okay, right. We're saving the best for last. So Charlie.
Oh, I don't have to go last this time. Okay.
That's good.
Yeah. No, the Mortal Kombat was life growing up. We played the video games. One of my friends got it on Sega, so we got it with the blood. We're looking up all the codes. We're looking up the special moves, figuring that shit out. And then we found out the movie's coming out, a couple years later. And I think I didn't shut up about it. And every time a commercial would come on, I'd talk about it. And I had my best friend Josh spend the night one Friday. Dad took us to see Mortal Kombat the next day. And when I say that, Dad didn't fucking do shit with us half the time. He's like, take it to the movie rental place, rent a movie. That'll keep him quiet. He actually took us to see Mortal Kombat. And dude, that was an experience at like 14 years old. That intro starts with the fucking logo coming up out of the fire, that EDM, music playing. I didn't know what EDM was at the time. I loved it. Apparently it's the best thing ever made. And so watch this movie just in awe. I didn't give a shit about it being PG-13. I watched it again today going, they got as close as they could as far as the violence went for a 90s PG-13 R-rated franchise. Scorpion comes to pieces, but they use lava instead of blood. They cut the top of his head off and everything in this. So just seeing that as a kid, and then I'll never forget my dad, we got done with that. He went and bought me and Josh our first Mortal Kombat figures. So
Nice.
I got Sub-Zero and Josh got Scorpion. So and they were the size of G.I. Joes.
They're Joes.
So it's
yeah.
okay.
Did you guys fight? Did you like?
Oh, hell yeah, we fought. Then we got more, and then I got Goro, and he got Johnny Cage and shit. And we were redoing the whole nut punch thing, and yeah, this is my Goro. I don't like the new Goro. I love how much screen time he got for this. They were confident in that Goro for how long he's on the screen in this movie. And I just every character I feel like they just took them right out of the video game, put them on the screen, gave them some backstory, let them go nuts. Scorpion, Sub-Zero look exactly the way I would have thought they would have in real life. They did all the moves I wanted them to do. All the special powers happened. And Trevor Goddard as Kano, when he turns his head and he's got that metal plate in the side of his head and his eyes glowing, like, fuck yes. I love new Kano. I wish he looked like old Kano.
Yeah.
And I hate that Kano dies so quickly in the original because I really just like that character as it goes. But dude, I have nothing but fond memories of this. I have zero negatives for Mortal Kombat. Christopher Lambert will always be my Raiden. They should have just let him be Raiden in the video games from here till eternity. I don't give a shit. Because when he just laughs and the lightning through his eyes and shit, I'm like that who else could pull that off? Christopher Lambert. And Shang Tsung, that, like you guys said, that is him. They said that they don't think they even looked at anyone else once he let them know he was interested. We're gonna get into that. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Apparently, I need to go rewatch that movie. I haven't watched since it came out. But yeah, no, 95. I just watched it again today, and I got all the same hype feelings when I should be getting them. The excitement, just really kind of getting into the story. Better story in this one, I think. A little bit more, in line with what I would have known with the video games growing up. Because, like you guys said, there was no lore yet. Hell, it's gotten really out there when you play the video games. I've got the last 3, and they've already retconned it again. And I'm like, well, God damn it! How do I keep up? Well, really, I've got the last ones because now we get bonus characters where we got RoboCop and Rambo and Predator and Alien have all been thrown in as extra characters, and I'm like, hell yeah, I'm here for that. But as far as the Mortal Kombat lore, it's kind of getting a little watered down a little bit, man. And I don't know. Just keep giving me the old let me fight dudes. I don't need a ton of backstory with it, but I'm going on too long. I love 95. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah. But no, you're right there. It's the film is just lean. There isn't a single scene in the movie that doesn't need to be there. Everything is there just to move the characters along. There's actually a tournament in this one.
Which I was going to bring up in the next movie. Because...
which we'll get to later. But, you're just like, what? Oh, okay.
That's the sequel.
Yeah. But yeah, Trevor Goddard was great. I loved him as Kano. He'll always be sort of my Kano, even though I actually do really like Kano in the new one as well. But he was always a great villain. I remember he was in Men of War with Dolph Lundgren, I think.
He was in Men of War. He was in Deep Rising with Treat Williams, and he almost steals that movie too with his sarcasm and shit like that. But I love him in this, man. It just works. I hate that he died, man.
Far too young.
Way too young.
Yeah. Right, Jay, over to the king.
Well, I played Street Fighter 1 when it came out. I was in the arcades all the time. Played Street Fighter 2 when it came out. And the thing is, my other friend Jay was always a bit better than me in Street Fighter. So when Mortal Kombat came out, we played immediately. The first people to play on it, I was like, I'm going to be better than Jay in this one. And I was, but he's still pretty damn good. Played Mortal Kombat 2. Love Mortal Kombat. I'm not bringing out all my video game stuff because I have magazines of the making of it and interviews with everybody. I will show you the different. So this is the soundtrack. Oh, nice. This is the score, which is very difficult to have. Just the background music. This is the soundtrack that everyone knows with all the techno kind of music.
We all had it.
I've got Annihilation as well. Yeah. There's books Sean's talking about. I did get those, of course, and read them before the movie came out. There's 2. I had stuff like this, where it's like these cool little things where it opens up and then it's got all the Mortal Kombat stuff in it. So this is promotional stuff that I would get.
Yeah, I've never seen that. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's like a few pages. So this would, anybody that had anything to do with Mortal Kombat, I would try to grab it. Of course, you got to get your sci-fi books. You got to get your sci-fi mags from the time.
Sci-fi.
So I love Mortal Kombat. The game, I could end Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 with every character without continuing easy. I'd fight my friends. I fought my one buddy Mark. We did 50 matches and I won all 50 in a row. And we got Noob Saibot. I could win with one hand. If I played with Raiden, I could beat people with one hand without using the buttons. So movies coming out. Mortal Kombat's coming out. Bought this poster. Got it laminated. First poster I ever bought official. That's the one sheet. It's actually bigger than 2740. I think it's 1 inch bigger. Had it laminated. It came out on my birthday, which is August 18th. It came out on my birthday. I turned 18 on that birthday. My mom, as a gift, brought all of my friends. There was 10 of us. It took like 2 or 3 cars to get us to the theater. We took up almost the entire row.
You had 10 friends?
Yeah, it was everybody I've ever known. It was like everybody I've ever known. It was something like that. It was like 8 or 10 people. So we all went to go see it. On our way there, we were so excited. We were running down the hallways. My god brother, not Brennan, but his cousin, Davian, was running and fell. He fell down the stairs, got back up and continued running. and my friend Paul was like, holy shit, Dave just fell down the stairs. The energy was, it's like nothing happened. And David said, come on, guys, we got to go see Mortal Kombat. What are you doing?
Right,
we're like, you just fell down the stairs. And we went, saw it. Then, of course, I came out on VHS, rented it on whatever it was, Saturday, watched it 4 times on Saturday, and then watched it 3 times on Sunday. I couldn't get the 4th viewing in before I had to take it back. I forced my grandparents to watch it. They watched Mortal Kombat. They sat and watched Mortal Kombat. I forced my mom to watch it. I forced my neighbor and her kids to watch it. I said, you need to watch Mortal Kombat. I don't care. I'm not really into this. You're into it. Watch it. And I would put it, right? So basically I hate this movie, right? Okay. Yeah. So like,
sound like a Jehovah's Witness all of a sudden.
Yeah. It's like, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. I played all the games. I played Part 3 and Ultimate because there was Mortal Kombat 3. Then there was Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. I still played that in the theater. Yep. Got the Genesis game. I got all the Genesis games of it. Had the blood coat on. Had the posters. I would get the special edition games where it came with Genesis. It came with posters. I have a Shao Kahn poster. I have a Mortal Kombat 2 poster. I have pins. I'm not bringing it all. I own every Blu-ray, DVD, whatever released, VHS of whatever Mortal Kombat thing that's ever come out. I've got more. I only have Xbox 360, so I have Mortal Kombat. Is it 11 or what came out? Maybe Charlie.
360, I think, is 9.
9. Okay, so I got the Molina. Yeah, so whatever one came out at that time. I stopped playing the game because I don't have PlayStation 5 or whatever, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So I love this movie. I think it's bloody awesome. The reptile fight and the scorpion fight in the nether realm or whatever were not even in the movie. They showed it to test audiences and they're like, so Johnny Cage just runs up to Scorpion and kicks him, and that's the end of it. And they're like, yeah, that's ass. And then literally, like Liu Kang grabs a green pillow or something and throws it away, and then that's Reptile. So when they said Reptile, and then I was like, oh, because Reptile wasn't in part 1. I knew this was a part 1 movie, so Katana was a bonus. Reptile was a super bonus because he was in part 1 technically, as Steve was saying, so it works. I was like, oh, Reptile. I couldn't believe when they went to Outworld, we're like, they're going to Outworld, because Mortal Kombat 1 is just the tournament. It is a tournament. As Sean said, the rules, what are the rules of the tournament? The rules are whatever the rules need to be in order to have cool fights. It wasn't like a grid, right? Where, okay, you fight this guy, because the game actually wasn't a grid either. You just fought a bunch of guys and you
just went up the tower, wasn't it? Tower. It had the tower thing that you went up.
That's it. So it wasn't like there was like a big thing to it. They utilized every character. Even at 18, I wasn't an idiot and thought, how come this doesn't have massive violence in it? I'm like, well, because it's a movie that needs to play. Like, I'm not an idiot, where even some people were like, oh, it's not as gory. It's like, I don't understand. What did you think was happening? Like, were we going to watch an Ilsa movie? I don't understand.
No. Like, your core audience is 13.
Yeah.
Even when the movie came out. So
like young teenager. Yeah.
The fights are they're all real fights. We'll talk about 2021, where how do you want your Mortal Kombat? Do you want it a kung fu film with physical fighting and physical stunts, people getting hurt, bruised ribs, guys, smashing their leg, whatever, Sonya, hurting herself? Like, do you want that? Or do you want fantasy Mortal Kombat with powers and shooting and stuff? It depends what you want out of Mortal Kombat. This one went for, let's film it. Let action, and that's Robin. That's thingy. I mean, Keith Cook is Reptile, right? Like, that's crazy. And it's like it's like he's Sub-Zero in Annihilation, but he was Reptile in this movie. And it's like, wow, that's a crazy awesome fight, right? That's a great fight that we got after the fact. So a lot of cool stuff. They did the best they could. I thought Goro looked pretty awesome. I thought he was like, wow, he looks really good, like the animatronics and stuff. Couldn't see shit. Again, I'm 18. I'm like, this fight's going to be 2 or 3 punches, and then they're going to figure. As soon as he did the balls, I was like, oh, there you go. And that was a great way to still have a cool fight. Yeah. And do a Johnny Cage move that makes sense, that it would hurt Goro, and no one thought of that when they fought Goro. They just go in hardcore and like, let me hit him fast. It's like, just nail him there and he's done.
And we got that fight earlier, so it's not like we got cheated out of a Goro fight.
Oh, great point, buddy. I didn't even think of that. That's a damn good point. You're right. And then it's not a disappointment. It's a bonus, because it just happens to be a cool little fight. And when he's like, those were $500 sunglasses, and when he says, this is where you fall down, man, a lot of lines were ad-libbed. That entire thing was the damn best. It's like, because just foreshadowing it that way, where it's like, you're like, he's like, oh, it's like, this is where you fall down, and then he falls off. So cool. I love Johnny Cage in this movie. He's one of the best characters in cinema. Like, everything he says and does is the best. Like, and his face is awesome. Like, everything about Lyndon Ashby is bloody awesome. And Robin is awesome as hell as Liu Kang. He is the real Liu Kang.
He's my Liu Kang. Yeah.
He's not anyone's Liu Kang. He is Liu Kang. It's saying he's my. It's like Christopher Reeve is my Superman. No, Christopher Reeve is Superman. Then everyone else is an actor playing a role. It's like he is Liu Kang. So there you go. That's my Mortal Kombat. So I'm pretty sure we know where I'm going to stand on which one I like better.
I think I know where this is definitely going. Yeah. So
however, I don't need to go last on the second one.
Right. Yeah. This is a bit of a slaughter. To be honest with you.
That's not going. Yeah. I don't know if I've seen
it.
Some of it. I think I have, but it was years ago. I don't remember much about it.
I didn't even bother with it.
Okay, and Mortal Kombat Conquest, I was recording that on VHS every week it was on, and I've transferred it myself to DVD. So I transferred it myself to DVD because it's not anywhere. So I transferred it myself. I mean, that's Daniel Bernhardt. That's Kristanna Loken. Dude, like, who?
I've not seen that. What the fuck? I've not seen that. Daniel Bernhardt. What the hell?
He's the star of it.
He's the one that the martial arts out.
Oh my god, dude. Okay, so John, you saw it. Yo, he's badass. Like, because
he did Bloodsport too. And after
Bloodsport too.
He's in a TV show. I can watch it every week. I know.
That's exactly what happened with me. I was like, dude, this guy, what the shit? Kristanna Loken's in. Oh man, she's great. Mm-hmm. And friggin' the main guy. So it's Kung Lao. It's Kung Lao's time, because Liu Kang is a descendant of Kung Lao. Right. The 2021 movie forgot that. but
Yeah.
they're like buddies. Hey, Kung Lao's like, aren't you?
And then they
dead?"
treat Kung Lao like a little bitch, but we'll
In
get to that
the
later.
game,
We'll get to that later.
He wasn't the descendant. It was Kung Lao. They just didn't put Kung Lao in the first movie. There was an actual Kung Lao.
There was, no, the Kung Lao in part 2 was a descendant of Kung Lao as well, but not the original.
You mean in Annihilation?
Yes. No, he's not in Annihilation. I mean, in the video game.
In the video game.
Yes, he is the descendant of Kung Lao.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
I'm confused.
Which Kung Lao, they were supposed to have like a statue of him or something in the movie. They actually had it planned, and they didn't
awesome.
get around to filming. Because what they're supposed to do is the guy that fights Goro and dies, they let them bury him. And it's supposed to be, it was a scripted scene, but they never filmed it. And the graveyard scene on the island is they bury him under the statue of Kung Lao.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
And it would have been the only time Kung Lao's actually been in the movies till 2021.
Wow, that'd be crazy. Yeah.
But it didn't need it. It's perfect. The one thing we haven't said is it's a perfectly paced movie. This is an hour and a half. Boom, love it.
And remember the part where you're confused about what's going on? No. Like
we got to fight to save the world. Got it. Okay. On it.
No, he was like 14 or something when he fell down the stairs. He was more jacked. I asked Brendan because they're the same age.
Yeah, you're more elastic back then, but now like you're just walking up the stairs, and I'm like dead.
I can't even get out of this chair. If I get out of this chair, I make a noise. It's like, are you okay? No, I'm just getting up out of the chair. Like,
I didn't go on any stairs today, and I'm hurting today. It sucked.
I just wake up and I'm like, why aren't I dead?
It's raining apparently, and now I know it does. It's like, well, fuck the rain.
My knees are fucked, so therefore rain's coming. Yeah.
Fucking old. Take me back to 1995, please. So I can sit in the theater and watch Mortal Kombat.
And not feel like shit. Okay, so over to Jay and Sean here. So you guys are going to talk more about Annihilation. I watched it once a few years ago and thought it was awful.
I watched it once.
Yeah. But Sean and J-Man have alternate opinions. So over to you guys.
Okay. No, we don't. I don't think we have the same. Oh, we have alternate opinions. Yes, we have a different point of view. We say different point of view about 5 times in the movie. I'm like, why does everyone keep saying a different point of view? Because I memorized the dialogue of that movie too. I'll say this and I'll let Sean go. Look, ninja are falling out of the sky. Let's take a break for a minute here.
It's raining.
There's ninja. This movie's not that good and all that. What panel is this? Is this the panel where we want to see ninja falling out of the sky? Like, it's a post-apocalyptic ninja movie. We need to rewatch this, and we need to rewatch this with my brain inside. It's like I'm watching this, I'm like, all these ninja, and then someone's like, "Oh, Rain got killed." It's like, who cares? Like, can anyone do any of Rain's fatalities? I've played with Rain. He sucked. I ended it with him once. I'm never playing that character again. It's like Stryker's not in it, right? Because nobody cares about a cop. It's like,
I like Stryker.
Now Cabal's not in it.
Cabal is bad
and still beat you with Stryker.
Yeah.
Anyways, the biggest sin, there's a massive sin. Johnny Cage, no Lyndon Ashby. That's a horrific sin. It is unforgivable. So I can get on the board with that. It's unforgivable. Especially killing him off like that. And then not bringing him back to just have him come back at the end, just so he can come back. But Sandra Hess as Sonya Blade is awesome. I love her. She's way better. Bridget's nice, but she was athletic. The fights were, she fought Melina. She's way better. I also think she looks better for Sonya as well. I like her a lot. I think she's awesome. Kitana is great. There's a lot of fights in this. It's disappointing because the fights aren't longer and more elaborate. That's the problem, because there's too many characters. And having the animalities, it's like, I like when a movie's like, you know what? F it, just put the animalities. Is that going to really make sense with this Kung Fu movie that we had in part 1? And now it's this weird fantasy movie where a guy's turning into a dragon? Sure, have him turn into a dragon. Who cares? It's like, okay. And you're just, so I saw that movie in the theater, I thought, wow, this sucks. And then I came home and then I bought it on VHS and I watched it again. I said, I got to talk myself out of this. I got to talk myself out of this negative attitude towards this movie. This movie is insane. They didn't care. They're like, just throw everybody in there. Well, Cyrex, I don't know. He's a robot or something. We'll just throw him in there. It's fine. It's like, what about Smoke? Yeah, throw Smoke in there. Who cares? Just throw him in. It's like, but what is he doing? I don't know. He's fighting Sub-Zero or something. It's like, okay, like what's the plan? Who cares? Throw him in there. It's just like, I don't care. Put it in the movie. Was it in the game?
It's just them walking around, running into people to fight.
Right. That's the whole movie. Now, the next time someone says, "Oh, I wish there was more fights" or whatever, I'm going to point out that you don't like Annihilation.
I hated it. I'm just saying in terms of the first one. I'm like,
I know it's shitty compared to the first. It's a shitty movie because it's not a great film.
It's like they half baked it. It's like they're like, shit, we need a sequel, and it's
they wanted to.
Yeah, they released it before the movie was finished. That was the problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's a problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sean.
The effects were not supposed to look like that. That's
right.
They were the worst effects I've ever seen.
And the ending,
I've read it.
When you turn in that, it's like Fistful of Vengeance. It's like Iko Uwais. I want to see Iko Uwais fight, but at the end, it's all like, I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at? It's like, and I was like, it just took me out of it.
This movie to me is like Superman 4. Like I can watch Superman 4 like over and over. I can watch this as well. Like I love that all the Part 3 guys are there. When this movie came out, Part 3 was big. I don't know if it came out on console yet. But I was really into it, and I thought, oh wow, this movie's going to be all the Part 3 stuff. That's cool. I love the ambition of it, just like Superman 4. I love the ambition of it. All these crazy costume characters, like they did as much as they could with making the guys look like the video games with their limited budget, and extra weird stuff like that ball. So at one point they have to go inside a ball that goes through these tunnels, and like they have to do some of the work. And I'm like, this wasn't in the game. This is awesome. It's like someone just thought of this and
you just said it. Mortal Kombat now with extra weird. It's like a commercial now with extra weird.
It's awesome. Look, it's an awesome midnight movie. It's great. It's not boring, and it's not stupid. It's a lot of fun. I'm not going to say it's like a great movie because it's an unfinished film. I know that. But the ambition of it, I mean, they really go for the jug. They try to do as much as they can with the limited budget and time that they had, and I appreciate that. So I love it. I don't know, and that music is awesome. They play more of it, so.
Fair enough.
And 3 was out whenever the movie came out on console.
Yeah,
3
was out.
Even at the end, the guy he doesn't say it with his own voice. He does Mortal Kombat. It's like, well, there you go. It's like
at the end when those two gods come down.
Yes, and instead of him saying it, it's the song. And
the rules.
I like that part. I dug it. And like more Robin.
And then they have the voice of Mortal Kombat, and then they play the song.
It was like Scorpion's voice in the first one was Ed Boon.
It was Ed Boon.
They actually used the guy that did it in the video game. Reptile was actually the guy that did Shao Kahn. So the guy that voiced Shao Kahn in the video games, it's the guy he's the voiceover, but it's supposed to be Shao Kahn in the video game saying all the names. So when he says Reptile, that's the actual voice actor for Shao Kahn in the video games.
I'll show you guys. This is Conquest. So there's Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat Conquest, a TV show. Jamie Presley was in it.
Ooh, it was like Baywatch, because you always have these scantily. Again, not complaining exactly, not complaining.
This is the show that none of you guys want. None of you guys watch.
It's martial arts in it, so how could you not love it?
I didn't know. What did it come out on? Was this like Fox?
It was syndicated. It was like syndicated. It was a syndicated.
No,
I don't think it was on in the UK.
I remember when it came out, and J-Man showed me his VHS collection of the tape, and I'm like, oh crap, he taped them all.
I taped them all, baby.
Available one day, and it never came out.
I had them all on VHS.
Never ever came out.
I even cut out.
I have no concept of it though.
Like when it was on, I was like, pause.
Yeah, I mean, like everybody, like every like female.
I'm sorry, I didn't see that. What was that picture?
It was like
okay.
Like I can't show you some of the other ones.
Oh, I believe it.
And man,
make one that says Charlie approves of this. Please subscribe. That's what I want. God damn it.
It's not going away. Oh,
I like that.
We can always bring that back.
I like that one.
That's a good one. Hey, there you go.
No, but it ended with Shao Kahn killing everyone,
Winning.
and then laughing at the end. You're like, oh, is there season 2? And then there's no season 2. I'm
That's
like,
why you never end a series on a cliffhanger unless you are 100% sure you're coming back. It's like,
could not knows.
Yeah,
of course.
Of course.
What's going on, brother?
Hey, good
Thanks, could not.
Oh man.
But then also, like Brian Thompson was Shao Kahn.
Yes.
Annihilation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Brian
Yeah.
Thompson, the nice
It's Brian
slasher.
Thompson.
So,
I don't feel so bad after listening to J-Man though, because I distinctly heard him say, I watched it and I hated it. And then I forced myself to watch it and like it. So I just haven't gone the other steps yet, J-Man. I've only watched it once and I didn't like it. I did like Jax. I do remember that that we had him. He's in the first movie as regular Jax.
Yeah.
And then I got him in this one, and I finally got I love playing Mortal Kombat 2 with Jax. You know, you had the bionic arms and all that shit. You know, I named my cat Jax because he lost 2/3 of his tail, so he had to have amputated off. And I went, he's Jax. I don't get robot cat tails, but it's close enough. So. But yeah, I never took the time, and then I've just listened to everyone else go, it's shit, and I've never bothered to go back and look, rewatch it.
Because these movies, it just becomes the thing. It's like, oh yeah, everyone just knows it sucks or whatever. It's like,
Owen says it sucks.
No, but nobody. The thing is, I love Mortal Kombat so much that I just kept giving it a chance. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, it's not as good for sure. Like 100%, it's not as good because the first one was like an amazing film. Yeah. It had great characters. You got to know them. Their interactions, Sean said, it's like all the interactions with the characters are so good. Like Christopher Lambert is awesome. He's got kind of like a playful attitude, which is great. He's a god, so he doesn't need to be serious all the time. It's like, I've got these powers. I can be a little bit fun, Oh, it's just like well done. But Annihilation is just like, they really wanted to just give you everything. And it's just like, guys, you can't. It's like the lesson is, look, less is more. Don't try to put it all into one movie. You just can't do it. And they still tried to make it a quick paced, 95 minutes or whatever. Now they could have taken Mortal Kombat Annihilation, fixed the graphic, fixed the effects, and made it like 2.5 hours. And you'd be like, okay, but they didn't want to because nobody likes long movies, except for people now who don't understand how to edit things. It's like Mortal Kombat 1, I can't think of any scene to remove. Or 95, sorry, Mortal Kombat 95. I can't think of a scene to remove. And like, what more do you want added? You could just say, well, I want longer fights, but
the quality was good. Scorpion fight is perfectly lengthwise. Right. We get like 2 different settings. All the moves get done. It's like, how much more do you want to add to this? If you drug all the fights out that long, it would have been like, okay, come on. I know what they do. Get the fuck on. But they gave it to us in the perfect amount of spacing. Okay, I remember her. All right. Yeah.
And
she's awesome.
I've seen her recently.
For sure.
She still looks good. Yeah.
Okay. She does. Yeah.
You and I have try it again, and we'll confer later. Like, do we still think what we thought beforehand?
Yeah, the effects are poop. So you gotta know that that's there. And because they tried to give you too much, and the effects were just not great, as Owen said. The effects it's terrible. Even for back then, you're like, ooh, this is like not looking good. But they tried, man. Like Sean, like it's post-apocalyptic ninja action movie. If the animalities weren't at the end, as John, as you were saying, if it was just the guys at the end fighting, your 2 guys having just a match, then you'd be okay. You'd be like, you know what? Because then the effects don't seem as bad because there's only a few of them here and there.
If I were mega rich, I would do a special edition of that.
Oh, for sure. I would do that for sure.
Redo the effects. No one would care, but I care. So
yeah, I know. I
passion project.
No one knew they needed it until they saw it.
Exactly. Right. There you go. I dig it.
All right. 2021.
Well, but before that, let's discuss like who our actual favorite Mortal Kombat characters are, even if they're not in the movies, right? But my favorite has always been Baraka. I just think he's cool as fuck and never seems to get any love. He's never really been in the movies. I remember seeing him in the commercials back then. There's like a live action version that looks cool.
He's in Annihilation.
He's in Annihilation. Yeah. But I like to see him sort of in this new like reboot, whatever. I would love to see him, but yeah. So right, what are you guys' favorites, and then we'll go on to the new one.
Well, if we're going like the original, it was always I played Sub-Zero, just always Sub-Zero. But then I jumped into like Cyrax and Sector. I loved. They were Predator looking back then, you know. So I always one of them had the net, you know, the net.
Cyrax had the green net,
the green net, and then all of a sudden they took them out of the fucking video games. I don't think they've been back in since like 7 or 8, and so now I just
they were in 9.
Were they in 9?
Yeah.
Okay. But now it's like I don't even play the games to play just around. It'd be okay. You just don't want him nibbling on your neck. But like now it's like I don't even like play the OG characters, maybe Scorpion a little bit, but I always go for the new downloads. Like fucking John Rambo's in one of the new ones. Yeah. So like why the fuck wouldn't I play as Rambo in a fucking Mortal Kombat game?
Or Terminator. Yeah.
Terminator, RoboCop, all these guys are in here. It's like fuck, I don't give a shit about the other guys now. I'm gonna play all my action heroes.
Isn't like Jason in it too? Like Jason.
Jason and Freddy were in
Freddy was in 9 and Jason was in 10.
10, yeah.
With Leatherface, he was in
and
there.
The aliens in 10.
Alien, Predator, yeah.
Predator came
in. Yeah, it can be Homelander versus Omni-Man. Yeah, I've seen that. That's really cool.
Yeah. So that's me.
I'll go next. It is Scorpion for me. He was the only character who spoke. He's get over here and all that stuff. I loved his spear. I speared the shit out of the computer. I didn't care. I speared it and spear uppercut. That was my go-to. I won. I think there you go.
There it is.
I think I won. I finished with Scorpion. That was the first character I ever finished with. I loved his look. But I just loved his moves. I loved his finisher with the skull with the flames. Yeah, exactly. When they actually did it in 95, I was so pumped.
Yeah. It still looks fucking good. It still looks good.
I know, man. I'm a Scorpion guy, so what I say for 2021 may be a bit surprising.
Okay,
understandable.
Sean, who's your favorite?
Well, it was Baraka as well, and I was disappointed he wasn't in the first one because he looks so awesome. And
he's so cool.
Yeah, it's like, and the one in the movie doesn't look quite as distorted as he does in the like in Annihilation as he does in the game. But like I thought he was awesome. So
yeah, I also just love the way it goes. Baraka wins. It's so cool.
Get him stuck in the corner doing the combo.
Yeah,
lifting him up in the air with the blades.
Yeah.
Corner trap. Yeah,
the corner trap. That's it.
Jay, I think it's Johnny Cage. Am I right?
No.
Really?
Even though he's based on Van Damme. No. I mean, there's Mortal Kombat characters, and then there's friggin' Scorpion. Come on, what are we talking about here? Like, I mean, I gotta have to pull one of these here. It's like put these Baraka people on the bottom. Listen, Scorpion is just like, I don't know. He had a weapon, which was cool. He's a ninja. Okay, let's check all the boxes. Ninja, automatic skull head guy. Hello, weapon. Like if they did an interview and they interviewed all the 13-year-old boys. Okay, my buddy Jay likes Sub-Zero. You know why I like Sub-Zero? But checks boxes. Ninja. I love ice powers. I would take ice powers if I had a choice. But he was easier to use. He's basically the Ken and Ryu moveset. So my buddy goes by movesets.
Down, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But Scorpion, I mean, like, oh my God, like ninja skull guy, like teleport, spear him. Like this is like the greatest thing. Like that's the first guy I mastered. And I mastered them all on Mortal Kombat 1 and all on Mortal Kombat 2 and most on 3. So I could pick any character. I actually love every character. In the movie, if you're asking the movie, then Johnny Cage, because it's just everything he says and does is so fun and cool. And Lyndon Ashby, and plus I've watched every interview that guy's ever given on Mortal Kombat, and he just seems like such a super cool person. Like if he ever comes to Fan Expo, it's autograph, it's picture, it's security taking me away because I'm still going to be talking to him. In that order, I'm going to get the picture first, then the autograph, and then security.
Well, it's usually how that should work if you want to get your shit.
If I pay you $500, will you let me stay?
Yeah, I'll just keep buying another autograph and keep talking. I mean, it is Liu Kang's movie. which we can talk about 2021, which is one I think is a big flaw. I think the 3 with Sonya, and you could throw Jackson with part 2.
Yeah.
But that 3, like Sean said, the Star Wars combo, that 3 is the heart of what Mortal Kombat is. If I have a disappointment, it's that Sub-Zero and Scorpion didn't fight each other
Ever. Yeah.
in 95.
Yeah.
Shang Tsung, it's a throwaway line. Scorpion and Sub-Zero, deadliest of enemies, but slaves under my power. And you're like, oh, I get it. They're Outworlder guys or whatever, but they're not Outworld. See, the problem is they're fighting for Outworld, but they're not Outworld.
Correct.
This is one of the looseness of the tournament, right? Like
they needed to build the villain rank. They
correct.
couldn't like have one of the powered people be a good guy.
Good guy.
Well, the Sub-Zero Scorpion storyline is so like detailed. There's another 20 minutes there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't want it. Like I understood why I did. I was disappointed as well, Jay, because I really loved that story. But I got it. I'm like,
now that does get fleshed out really well in the video.
In the yes, but when they enter, it's like and you're like, and it's in slow motion because Paul Anderson knew he's like, oh shit,
you're like, now here going down. It is about to happen.
Fucking going down. And then the other guy's like this, and it's like, you're like, what?
Dude, when you're in the theater seeing that motherfucking thing come out of his hand. That blew every kid's mind. Like it comes out of his hand. You understand what's happening?
Yes, I know. We're like, I don't understand. This is crazy. Oh my god.
So, John, favorite character, and then we'll move on.
I see, like if I like it's like what day is it? It's like Scorpion or Johnny Cage, but I go with Johnny Cage because it's kind of like Hawkeye from Marvel for me because like he's just a guy who knows martial arts. You know, and I like that. Like a Hawkeye, he has he's really good with bows, with a bow and arrow, but yet he still goes out there and be like, I'm still gonna try to kick ass. You know, these guys are shooting something out of their hand, but you know what? I don't give a shit. You know. Plus, I was a huge Von Damme fan, and you know, he's tailored after Von Damme. So and plus Lyndon Ashby. When I saw the movie, I'm like, this guy's fucking cool, and
for sure.
I love him, and I loved like in Blast, Lyndon Ashby when he was in the movie Blast. Yes, like he was an action star. People.
Yeah, it's him doing Die Hard. Yeah.
Yes. So so
now he's on Teen Wolf or whatever.
I mean, I like Scorpion, like for everything you said, J-Man. You know, he's a fucking ninja. You know, he and I love how he does. You know, he does his pose. He's got the coolest pose. You know, I like when him and Johnny Cage square up and he comes around and he does his thing. You know, but that's the cool thing about Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage is just like, you know what? This guy looks like he's got a lot of more skills than I got, but you know what? I'm just going to go fight him anyways. And that's what I love about Johnny Cage. He's like, I'm going to go save the world and I have no powers whatsoever. I'm just really good with punch. And plus he wants to prove that he's more than just a martial arts action movie star. So
yes. And Spielberg cameo in
yes. Johnny, you're killing me. You're killing
me. I'll be back directing traffic. Johnny.
But not Spielberg though. They got a really good look-alike.
Yeah.
I'm freaking John Carpenter regular.
John did want to do it. He just
he's gonna do it.
He was literally like gonna do it, and that's why they did it that way. It was like he's not gonna get mad. He wanted to be here. So
they announced that in EGM in Electronic Gaming Monthly that he was gonna be in the movie, and then he wasn't. And I was like, oh, what happened? Yeah.
I even like how they kind of make Johnny Cage do the shadow kick, but it kind of blurs into the teleport. So you're like, wait, did he do the shadow kick or did he teleport during the shadow kick? I don't like that because it kept it. Well, he was supposed to do it, but they added the teleport.
And when he kills Scorpion, that was I thought that was the most badass move of the whole movie.
Yeah, it's fucking.
And he's screaming.
It's like, lava and gory.
Screaming. Yeah, look, that's just.
He shadow kicks into his death in Annihilation. So. Whoops.
Oh,
he does. Yes, but that was Chris Conrad.
That was so dumb. I gotta say that's why MK Annihilation pissed me right the shit off immediately. I was like, okay, you've already pissed me right off, and then I was soured for the whole movie. And then I loved, I fell in love with Sonya, and she was the best, and I was like, oh, she's hot and all that. But then I was like, I don't know if that's enough.
That's good.
It wasn't enough for me.
So I thought that was cool too. Yeah.
Well, all you guys need to rewatch it. And then confirm back that it's awesome, and then I'll put you back up to the top.
I'll be like, what the hell are these two doing, man?
I haven't
what
seen
are these two guys drinking before they got on?
I was trying to try to watch it before tonight, but I just with my job, I just couldn't. I was like, I'm too tired. I saw the other two though. I saw both Mortal Kombats, but I couldn't do Annihilation. I was too tired.
Okay, so on to 2021. So this came out during COVID, so I remember it was released online.
Yeah.
At the same time, I think most of us watched it online. I don't even think the theaters were even open then, were they?
Never.
I
went
don't
to
think
theater.
so.
Yep.
Not
Yeah.
here. No.
Not here.
Yeah, I don't think so. But I remember watching it, and I loved that we got some, more of like Scorpion and Sub-Zero. So Hiroyuki Sanada and Joe Taslim, they were awesome. And then the whole opening between them, but then like they don't appear together really until like the end. Joe Taslim always makes for a great bad guy because he's just great at having that smug, sneering smile where you just hate when he's a bad guy. He's really good. The thing is, I love Louis Tan. I think he's great. But why the fuck did you create a new character with Cole Young? Like, there isn't enough Mortal Kombat characters to choose from. It just made no sense to have to create like another new one.
Take a look at the character select screen. Like, God.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Exactly.
So that made no sense to me. And then whenever you watch it, it's something just with most movies I find today is that it's charmless and soulless, where it takes itself sort of too seriously. It doesn't have that same sense of fun. Like, it's great that it has the R rating and lots of gore and stuff like that. That's great. But yet, I don't know, it just doesn't have that charm that the original had. There's some humor in it. I think Cabal's cool as fuck. He's my favorite character in this. His awesome voice. And he's awesome. I like Kano. He probably steals the show with one of the few characters who shows any personality. And that's the thing, it lacks personality. And it's like, where's the humor? And then there's no fucking Johnny Cage. And like literally the director said, probably cancelled for this, but the director said they didn't want to have a white guy as a lead in it, so they put him in the next one. And like, oh, look, in the movie field. So Carl Urban is going to play Johnny Cage in the next one. Once again, not a martial artist, so interesting choice, but he's a good actor, and I can totally see elements of Billy Butcher or whatever going into it, whatever, that sort of swagger. I can see he'll do a good job. I mean, Carl Urban's a great actor, so that's fine. But I have more to say about this one. The first was like the 95 one we all love, and 95 was great, but there was just things about this one which bothered me. I thought the effects were good, and there's some great gore in it. They did my boy Kung Lao bad, but people, somebody has to die, and they can't all survive. It is Mortal Kombat. That was kind of cool. I thought Goro was shite. He was underused. He wasn't a character. He was just CG. Like you said, he just looked like Warcraft character. Yeah. And the second was like, and I was like, this is it. This is what you're doing with Goro. And I was like, oh, okay. And he just looked like shit. Like, even now, the animatronics, I'll take any day over that. They at least bring the music in at the end. Some of the score is quite cool, and the visuals are okay. What else? I did take note of something. Lu Lin was Liu Kang, who made very little impact. And then Tabanobu Asano as Raiden. They're fine. Once again, no really any personalities. Max Huang as Kung Lao was cool. I thought Jax was kind of cool. I liked what they did with his arms. With the way they sort of come in. I like that.
Yeah, it's Jimmy Olsen.
Mercad Brooks, I think.
Yeah, Jax is Jimmy Olsen from Supergirl.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I was like, what? Who knew what that? What else I want to say? Chin Han, I still remember his name. Sorry, Chin, who plays Shang Tsung. Yeah, he's so boring in the role. He's not scary. He's just boring. So yeah, he was just he was okay, but he's no Karihuyuki Tagawa. So
no,
that's all I'm going to say. I'll go over to Steve again. So what do you think of?
It's okay. I'm not dying over this movie. Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Scorpion being sort of the reason for Mortal Kombat is lame to me. I don't like that at all. To me, Mortal Kombat is Liu Kang's series, so I don't really care about Scorpion and Sub-Zero being the main focus. They do the thing with the where he assassinates Hanzo Hasashi's family and all that. And I'm like, that's cool. They put that on screen. I did see it in Legacy, but whatever. but it's just like it feels like the heart and soul of this movie is missing. Louis Tan, like he's fine. He was fine in Wu Assassins. I actually liked him. He's the best character in that entire show. But Cole Young is completely bland. Like he's just a guy, and I don't care about him. I actually didn't care for Kano that much because I feel like he was just Mr. One-Liner, and he was Mr. One-Liner because no one else was doing it, and it just went on and on and on, and I'm just like, okay, is this guy's just comic relief through the entire thing? Like he's an actual supposed to be Black Dragon. Like I don't know, he didn't have the metallic thing, which annoyed me. And he just shoots out of an eye. I just thought that was kind of stupid. Goro looks like terrible. He's just garbage. He looks like wind, like draperies to me for some reason. I have no idea. He's just like terrible. I don't know why he's like fighting Cole Young in a like suburban setting. I just think that's kind of silly as well. Liu Kang looks like a guy I wouldn't want near my children. For some reason he's creepy to me. I liked Kung Lao. Yeah, that's how I felt, J-Man. I like Kung Lao. He actually felt a lot like the character. Unfortunately, he dies very quickly. But he did have that cool hat death, and it was a fatality from the game, so that was cool. Yeah, it's just very bland. I liked Sonya Blade a lot. I thought she tried. Jax was cool. I don't hate this movie, but it's far too long, and it's far too ponderous. I don't know how much training they did where they were trying to find the Oka, whatever they call it, their powers.
Arcana.
And just like, where are
Arcana,
we going? Shang Tsung and Raiden just looked at each other for like, whenever they came in, they just, this was Shang Tsung and this was Raiden, and they just stood there and it's like, I'm going to do something. And it's like, no, I won't let you. And then they
force field.
Yeah, force field. And I'm like,
no, I can't get in now.
Yeah, it's like, what? This is the confrontation? Really? And the hilarious thing is, I think they really cast the movie well as far as look-wise. I looked at the characters. I'm like, I could see where you were going with this, but you forgot to infuse them with any sort of character. You just gave Kano all of the fun stuff. So it was just like, funny Uncle Kano with his bland sidekicks. I'm like, what is going on here?
I would watch that.
That sounds like a
I'm just saying. I would watch that show.
Playing at 80s music.
Two doors open at the same time. Kano and Cabal come looking at each other.
Yeah. Kano comes and talks. Cabal comes to talk to him. Cabal was great too. But it was just like it was a bizarre movie to me. There was a bit of that Annihilation oversaturation of characters, but then just focusing on Cole Young through the entire film. Like, this is just weird to me. I don't know why the hell this is happening. Yeah. I'll watch the next one because I'm a Mortal Kombat sucker. I pretty much watch anything with Mortal Kombat, but I have all the cartoons as well. But yeah, I just didn't do it for me.
Yeah, no, I'd have to agree. Sean?
Well, yeah. When I first saw it, I was frustrated. And the thing is, I haven't been following Mortal Kombat since 3, right? I know it's a big thing now, and I know there's like reboots and there's like lore and all this crap, right? Because with the advent of cinematics, like every damn game seems to be like 75% cinematic, right? So anyway, but yeah, it's not a video game to me. Anyway, but I was stunned by, I don't know who this new guy is. Why would you have a new guy? I have no investment in this character, right? And why are they training? I don't even know what the climax is or what the movie is ramping up to. They train. That's the movie. What's the climax that they train and then they fight guys with the training and now they've known? What are they even working towards? They talk about the tournament and it's just in the background. I'm not gonna bet. The movie looks great in places. In other places, it seems like they ran out of money. I don't know. Like the training area looks like a sandbox. It's like it's a golf course. It's like, what is this? It's a mini golf course. Yeah, I don't at the the big fight between Sonya and Kano is in like a trailer park or something. like this isn't what I expect from a Mortal Kombat movie, right? Some of the directing is I'm not gonna bag on a director. Like sometimes, like when they do location, I don't know if it's location or like some sort of some sort of green screen, but like but I'm gonna do it, J-Man. Hold on.
No. I'm not gonna bag on this.
You're doing it. Yeah, I am doing it.
But fuck this guy.
But the thing is, like, yeah, Paul W.S. Anderson is not Peckinpah, but the man is a filmmaker. Like,
yeah.
And so when you watch 95, you probably don't notice it, but like you get the feeling of what he's trying to do because he knows what he's doing. So J-Man, you talked about when Scorpion and Sub-Zero enter, and it's awesome. The reason why it's awesome is all they do is just walk through a door. That's all that shot is. But the reason why it's awesome is because he puts the camera down, tilts it up, Scorpion walks in, then Sub-Zero walks in and fills the screen. Yeah. That's awesome. That's all you need to do. As a skilled filmmaker, you know how to block a shot and bring something out of it. When Goro raises his arms like that in victory, he has a top-down shot that twirls around.
Right.
It's like there's a lot of passion in that film. And in this movie, like, I swear to God, all the villains are introduced in like side shots, or they're walking away from the shot. And it's like they're walking towards Buddy, who's on his throne, who just sits there all day, and these villains come up to him and they're like, and they literally say like, "I'm this guy, I'm that guy." Like, it's you might as well just have a little like thing at the bottom, like the old Japanese movies. Right? There's no passion. Like, are you not going to introduce them in some cool way or something?
Look, like, kids, it's Cabal.
Yeah, that comes like, I'm Cabal. It's like it's like Kano did this to me or whatever. It's like, okay, you know, like there's no. That's part of the soullessness of it, because there's no inspiration or like muse to this movie, and like. For whatever reason, the explanation of the movie, like that terrible Chung-Li film, where it's like, why in the hell did you make this and not a Street Fighter movie? You know, it's like if I'm watching a Mortal Kombat film, it should be they're fighting in a tournament. I get some of the games were not tournaments, but it should be that, because at least there's a structure and something to work towards, like a through line, you know, like a story. So. Yeah, I don't like 2021.
No,
the year or the Mortal Kombat movie. 2021.
Right. The year sucked as well.
I'll see the second one because I'll watch anything Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
I should just want to see some of the fact that the director it was his first movie looked apparent. It felt soulless, like you said, and forgetful. Yeah, which it totally was. So.
But you know, 95 Mortal Kombat was a very early film. It's I think the first big film of
his first big
Paul W.S. Anderson.
He had done
so
a couple independent.
Event Horizon. Didn't he do Event Horizon?
Yeah, came after.
Yeah, this movie is it's what you're saying. It's like explaining what the problem is. Like, it's explaining what's going on. But this is the new style of filmmaking now. You have all these characters, and we're going to explain why they can do things. See, it's like, why can someone have powers? That's weird. Well, okay, they've got this mystical tattoo, but why do they have this mystical tattoo? Well, you see that there was this Scorpion and Sub-Zero guys that hate each other. Okay, but why did they have the tattoo?
Like, it's because they're chosen, Jay. Man,
correct. They're chosen.
So they're chosen. So when that guy dies, there's no more chosen. Oh no, it goes to the next person.
Right.
Oh, so they're chosen now. Well, they killed the chosen one.
Right. So this, like, you're explaining everything, but it's anything that's cool in this movie. It's accidentally cool because it's Mortal Kombat. So if you're like, oh yeah, well, Scorpion and Sub-Zero, they were cool. Right, because they're just cool anyways. That guy didn't create them being cool. The only thing he created was Cole and his family. It's like bland daughter, bland wife. Cole, like, why would you have Cole when you don't have like a character like anyone else? And the other thing is, it's Liu Kang's story. Yeah. Like, I love Scorpion. I just told you he's my favorite guy. That I made fun of everybody except for Steve for not picking Scorpion. And Charlie got a bit of a pass because Sub-Zero is good too. It's like But after I did all of that, I'm like, now I'm telling you, yeah, I don't know about this movie, but it's all Scorpion's story, right? Because I don't want it to be Scorpion's story because it's not his story. I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
They're like, Scorpion and Sub-Zero are the most popular thing. Let's make it their story.
Yeah.
No. It's
like
like
Liu Kang is not even Liu Kang. He says, "I am an orphan adopted by the clan Kung Lao." So he's not even a bloodline of Kung Lao now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird too.
And then you killed off the bloodline of Kung Lao.
Right. And then the other thing too is Melina is a clone of Kitana. I'm all for, the appearance of Melina doesn't really matter, but it does matter if Kitana is going to be in this movie, and I don't think that Kitana is going to be the same.
No, she's not going to be a twin. It's not going to be a twin.
She's going to be their twin, right? It's like they're going to get her to be Kitana because it's bad casting for Kitana.
Yeah.
So if it's bad casting for Kitana, it's bad casting for Melina.
Yeah.
Because that's wrong. So there's a lot of weirdness. Like anything cool. Like my wife watched them all with me again, and she likes the 2021 because it just looks cool, and she likes the Japanese guys, she likes the Asian guys. It's like, right, well, obviously it looks cool, and she doesn't care if it's Cole or Johnny Cage. She doesn't know these characters, so she's like, oh, it's a cool movie. I'm like, right, but anything cool is because it's Mortal Kombat, not because this guy did something cool. He ruined everything. Sean said this. It's like, go up to man on the street, Mortal Kombat. What is it? Oh, it's like this tournament or something, and so there's guys with powers. Perfect. That's the movie. That's it. You don't overthink this. Don't do this exposition in the movie. It's like people are going to wonder how they have powers.
No, this isn't an underground franchise. This is global. You don't need a fucking origin for it. Put us in the middle of the tournament and be done with it.
And that's it. And like, I don't. It's like, and then you know what, man? Kano sucked in this movie. The first half an hour, I thought this guy's hilarious. I was like, Kano's so funny. He's great. And then I'm like, is he still going on? It's like, okay, are you with them or not? You know what? I'm tired of your one-liners now. The first half an hour is like, this guy's hilarious. This guy's awesome. This guy's great. And 1 second, 31 minutes, I was like, oh boy, I'm completely done with this garbage character. Can we just have this guy die already? It's like, say your few, like Johnny Cage didn't say every line of dialogue in a stupid way. He just said a couple of funny things that were memorable. Kano said 100 of them, like, no. You can stop talking. And he has a laser. It's like, yeah, I got a laser eye. It's like, I don't care. You don't have the metallic thing. You're not Kano.
You're not Kano. Trevor Goddard is Kano.
Trevor Goddard. And that's what I say. I say, I like this. If you took Kano out of this fucking movie, I wouldn't like this movie at all.
Well, he's the only one who shows any personality.
Exactly.
Like nobody else has any. Like, why should we care about this Cole character? What is there about him that makes me think, wow, this guy's great? Exactly. Okay, so he loses fights for money, right?
And his power is getting the shit beat out of him.
Yeah,
that's his fucking great power.
That's my power. I could be in this movie.
Yeah, we could all do that.
They stole the technical power. They stole from Jax because in the games, the more damage he would do, his arms would power up. And he could do a super move. They fucking gave it to Cole. And okay, I get a body wrap around me now. Fuck off,
and wait a minute. And so you're telling me Jax is okay. Now here's the other problem. If you start introducing weirdness, you're gonna get the nerds call you out on it. So you got that tattoo, your arms were ripped off. The tattoo makes electronics, like it makes metal. I don't like, so it made his arms.
Yeah,
like
that's
his
a little weird. I'll give you that one.
Yeah,
like, why not have the monks put the fucking arms on?
That's what I thought it was.
That's what I thought they were going to do. When he had the little skinny ones, I'm like, what is this?
What the fuck is that?
Lifting the rock, and then all of a sudden he's got like mega like metal arms. I'm like, what?
But then we get that fucking metallic body wrap from Cole, so it's like, okay, at least you stayed.
That's true.
In that vein, so that wasn't like just one person got it and the other one didn't. But J-Man, where you said like, Kano at 30 minutes plus one, he becomes annoying. At 30 minutes plus one, he becomes us because he starts talking about the dumb shit going on around him. Like something will happen if you listen to. My wife was cracking up last night just from Kano because he would they would make this like big, spectacular speech or something, and he'd be in the back saying something like, what the fuck is all this about? He's literally us. Right, we have no idea what's going on. We all know he's going to turn heel. It's all about give me his powers.
That was a surprise. I was actually shocked.
Oh, you were shocked? I like when Cabal's like, was there this guy there? Real piece of shit. You're gonna hate him. Was he there? How the fuck did you know he was there, Cabal?
Why are they like? I don't know. This entire thing was weird. Yeah. Where's the tournament? I don't understand. Like, and then look, I stopped following after Ultimate Mortal Kombat. I'm an arcade person. Once the arcades died out, that was it for me. Playing it at home is fun, but I can't fight other people. A fighting game is meant to be played against other people. I can beat the computer on the hardest. I put Ultimate Street Fighter 4, whatever it is, to the hardest setting, to the most 7, I think, and I can win the whole thing with at least 7 or 8 characters easy. So I need to play against someone else who can challenge me and beat me, and I can learn their moves. So once that was taken away, I stopped playing. So I don't know. Maybe, as Sean was saying, Steve would probably know the best, or Charlie. It's like it's not so much about a tournament anymore. I know, but man on the street,
they've got it where you can do both. You could do both. Play through Storymatic, or if you could play online, it's pretty much just fighting. There is literally an RPG Mortal Kombat game.
Yes, I've seen
that is just going through. And one of the newer ones, there is an RPG style option where you can play through a storyline, or you can just fucking fight. Because that's me. I like to get on there, set the computer where I want, and then I'll try every fucking character till I find the one I like, and I just play through the whole damn thing. I've gone through every cinematic of, I think it's 11. I've played through every cinematic for the end to see everyone's different one.
Right, and it's online. You can watch them on YouTube. I've watched that before.
It's more fun to kick its ass.
Yeah. No, but I mean, man on the street, person on the street. Let's include everybody. Inclusivity. Person on the street. What's Mortal Kombat? Oh, it's like a tournament, right? Right, and not in this.
It's a fighting game.
I don't understand. Like, what is this for then? Like, it might be. Well, this is more to the lore. I know, but generic people again.
But they're subverting expectations, G, man.
You subverted it right out the fucking door, is what.
I don't hate this movie. Actually, I bought it on 4K.
I own it.
Yeah, I got it, and it's Mortal Kombat. But anything that I like about it is more in line with it being Mortal Kombat than it being a good movie. Whereas Mortal Kombat 95, Siskel loved it and gave it thumbs up. He said, this was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I'm giving it a thumbs up. And he said it's the best video game movie.
Probably because they just reviewed Super Mario Brothers, and I remember that they poured the shit out of that one.
Yeah, and I don't hate that movie either.
I think it's fun. It's not Mario Brothers, but it's not fun.
No, it's not Mario. Correct.
But the new movie, what it does for me, every time I've watched, and it did it to me again. I watched it last night, and I'm going, fuck, I just want to watch the 95 one. I want to watch a real Mortal Kombat story and watch it. Is it gory as fuck? Hell yeah. The fucking Kung Lao kill when he runs that bitch through the fucking the hat. Love it. Reptile actually looks fucking cool compared to the 95 one. Yeah. He looks like a giant iguana, but he fights. And Kano rips his fucking heart out. And he makes jokes about it. He's just like, the fuck I did. This is awesome. You didn't rip a fucking heart out of that thing, did you? I did. And you stabbed me in the leg with my own knife, by the way. I fucking love Kano. This is the Kano movie. But if you took him out, like Nathan Jones is in this fucking thing, and he is wasted as this fucking Rico or whatever the fuck.
That Rico was.
And I like Rico in the games. I thought he was a great character in the games. And then
he had a hammer. He's badass. But
and then he just doesn't do anything.
He doesn't do shit.
This is the MK Annihilation arguments.
Yeah.
Except I like MK Annihilation better than this movie. All of the arguments of MK Annihilation are present in this movie, except this movie's getting the pass. And that's why I'm more like hot about it. I'm like, well, why is this getting the pass? This is the same crap as too many characters. It's like you can't tell what's going on. The story's really weird. It's like in MK Annihilation, there's an animality. In this one, it's like the storyline is they have to get their powers in order to what? Do nothing? Like now Sonya can shoot her rings.
How'd she get her Arcana immediately? Because she just got the thing. Like, did she just have the innate ability to get it?
Same school that Ray went to learn the Force.
Yeah. It's just ready to go.
I do like Sonya better than Ray in Star Wars, though. Just to put that on the table.
That's not that hard to figure out. But I mean, I do like the Scorpion and Sub-Zero fight at the end.
For sure.
I mean, that's what it's all building up to. You can fucking take what's his nuts completely out of that. I don't need him at all. You freed me from hell. He doesn't need to fucking free you from hell. You could have jumped out, kicked Sub-Zero's ass at any point. Raiden could have summoned him. They all knew how it was supposed to be done. But the fight itself is cool. We get the spear throw, we get people fucking being frozen.
Yeah, that's
badass as shit. Sub-Zero pulls out the ice sword, which comes into the games later because he gets the ice sword, the ice axe as a power up. And then, we get the fucking fire and torches his ass at the end, which is what I definitely wanted from Sub-Zero or Scorpion for the end kill, is to just torch the fuck out of it.
I have a question when has everyone done their
I think John hasn't.
Okay, so I have a question for everybody after you guys are all done.
We kind of jumped in everything, J-Man. We didn't even have turns. So, John.
All right, so my turn's done. Charlie, is your turn done?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm sorry, Owen.
All right.
Look at he's like, I am not driving tonight, guys. Have you not figured that out?
It's driving itself. It's driving itself. Okay.
What do I say? I mean, like, you guys,
whatever you want.
I'm just agreeing with I'm just like this. I'm like, you are correct.
It's a good point. Very good point. I concur.
Okay, so here's the thing, and this is what pisses me off about movies nowadays. Like, I think J-Man may have said it, but origin movie. Why? Okay. This is like, I'm such a Snake Eyes fan. I went to go see the Snake Eyes movie. And I'm like, oh, he finally put the outfit on at the end of the movie. You know what the fucking problem is? You fucked this movie up, so now I'm not going to get a sequel to see him wear the damn suit. Why did he put the suit on in the movie? Yep. Same thing here. Oh, okay, I get it. Bad guys are bad guys. I actually thought it was kind of interesting that they were like, ooh, let's take the good guys out before the tournament so we don't have to have a tournament. And, so like, we'll do a preemptive strike kind of thing. Kind of interesting.
But then should have ended with the tournament.
So I liked Hiroki Sanada and Joe Taslim. I thought he brought a ruthlessness to Sub-Zero. Like at the beginning with his wife and kid, and he's talking to the kid, and he's like, this guy's sick. He's gonna kill his kid, right? And he's just like, he's just slimy. And and I think you said the smirk, like how he's got that I'm a dick, it's like, and I like the bookends. I like the beginning. I thought the fight was awesome. I mean, it's CGI blood. What are you gonna do? I mean, we don't get
this is the way now.
We're used to it now. Yeah.
And the ending was cool. I don't know why. Again, Cole. Why did we like? I love Louis Tanner. He's a phenomenal martial artist. He's a good actor. But why did he need to be in this movie? And then the same thing here. It's an origin movie. Okay, we're gonna get the tournament in the next one. You know what I said to myself when I saw this movie? I'm like, great. You have this movie up. Now I'm not gonna get a sequel. We're gonna see the tournament or Johnny Cage. But we did get a sequel. But I was banking that we weren't gonna get a sequel. You know what I mean? Until because then they were like delaying it and stuff like that. So. I gave it a good review when it came out on my website. I believe I liked it, but I was naming everybody in the first film. I'm like Keith Cook, Chris Casamassa, Leo Lee was in it, and I'm like naming all these. I'm like, who was
any movie with Leo Lee is better.
Okay, yeah, Tadanobu Asano. Okay, I mean, like, what was he in again?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Who?
Yeah.
But it's like I can't, aside from Lewis, I mean Jessica McNamee, I thought she was killer as Sonya Blade. She's kind of like she was like Sandra Hess in the second one. She got that physicality to her.
Yeah,
she was sexy, she was badass. And I did like her fight with Kano, even though it was like in a trailer park, like you mentioned, Charlie. Like,
yeah,
but
is that one of the selectable stages in the?
But then Goro, like he fights Cole. And he comes out of the barn, and I'm like, "Why are we here? Like, why is he?" Like,
I want to see him fight in the Outworld, not in a fucking barn.
It's like, why are they? Yeah, well, because Cole basically said, "F you, I'm going back to my family, so you guys can all die," and I'm going back.
Well, it's also they didn't have faith in their CG either, so let's put them in the darkest, most covered area, so we don't have to show Goro. Unlike 95, you fucking showed him for like a third of the movie. He is a walking, talking character.
Well, he's drinking and eating, and he's talking at the table. Like he's a character. Yeah. He's not just a guy. He's a guy, man.
This is basically like Montaro. Just drop him in there for a few seconds, and then he's gone. Yeah,
and
that's how they treated Goro.
The violence. Okay, I enjoyed the violence in the second one, but it just reminded me, I didn't need it. Like, I like gory. Don't get me wrong. I love a good gory action movie, but I don't always need a good gory action. I mean, if it's got good action in it, and I was like, 95 was perfect. I mean, it didn't have the gore, but it had really good. I mean, and like none of the fighting in this one, like I could pick out all the. I could envision 95. It's it's an older movie, obviously, but I'm like I could picture it in my head, and I watched this again just yesterday, and I was like, aside from the Hiroki Sanada fight at the beginning when he's like whipping people around with with the weapon, I mean, I can't really like think of like any of the fighting in this movie
because there's not that many when you really sit down and watch it. Yeah, I'd play that stage.
I love a good barn fight more than anybody. It's like when it's Mortal Kombat, that's not the stage.
Universal Soldier did it better.
You're discharged, Sarge.
Yeah,
Best bad guy death of all time.
Best one-liner, best bad guy death. Period. I don't care.
Ever.
Where's he at? Around.
Yeah.
Fucking love that movie.
So yeah, so I liked it, but it's Mortal Kombat. It is Mortal Kombat. It's just that they're doing different things with Mortal Kombat. But at the end of the day, it's like all you said. It's soulless, lifeless. I don't remember
Modern.
To start.
Modern.
It's as good as the cinematics we get in the video games. So
and
that's why it's not even like astounding. It's like I fucking saw that in all the video games I play. You didn't do anything new.
At the end, I thought of Wonder Woman 84 when she has her gold uniform on.
That's my Sonya Blade right there.
Okay, well, I lost my train of thought. Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, I thought of Wonder Woman's gold outfit at the end, like in Wonder Woman 84 when it comes on him. I'm like, what am I looking at right now? And I did like the weapons though. I like how he had the baton,
Yeah,
that was cool.
It would have been fine if the character had existed in the Mortal Kombat universe previously, but he didn't. So fuck Cole. Like he's so far, and he better not be in the second one. Is he in the second one? Do we know?
He's starring in the second one.
He is in this?
Why?
Yes. Well, it's like
because they've based it all around him and not Liu Kang. So Liu Kang's
or Johnny
nothing
Cage
now. Yeah. Well, Johnny Cage is just going to be popped in. He's not going to be like the first movie. If you really go back and look at it, it may be Liu Kang's story, but that's the fucking Johnny Cage movie in '95. He got the better fights, the better dialogue, everything, and then Robin Shaw got to win at the end.
But Robin had a bit more fights because he had that first guy that he fought.
His were like shorter. Like if you actually timed out like fight scenes, I think him and Johnny are probably right on. And the reptile one wasn't supposed to happen.
Correct.
Reptile was supposed to get trapped in the statue.
Right. But also, Scorpion in the other world wasn't supposed to happen either.
They added, they did add that too.
Well, it's like the Suits had a meeting, when they were making his Mortal
Kombat.
Kombat.
Alice from the Resident Evil.
They were like, we have this embarrassment of riches of characters. Who should we make the main character for our new Mortal Kombat? Ooh, fuck it, let's make a new character.
I want a new one. It's like, Jesus Christ, you don't need him.
It's another thing of the arrogance of modern filmmakers thinking, we're not going to give the fans what we want. Fuck Johnny Cage. We're going to create a new character who's going to be even better than Johnny Cage.
It's going to be cool.
But and everyone's like, but we want to see Johnny Cage because that's a character we've known for like 30 odd years, and that's who we want to see brought to life. No. You're going to see Cole instead.
And it would be different if they'd done a good job with him. Not only did they give us a new character, they made him a shit character. He gets his ass kicked.
Quote me one line of dialogue he says.
If I was his wife, I would slap him and be like, why are you doing this? Just try to...
She takes a fucking axe to Goro. She has the most badass scene in the movie as far as Cole and that stuff goes. So she chops into him into the side. She's got more balls than Cole did. But
and
Cole
then the other thing, this goes with having recognizable actors playing these roles. Like Henry Golding played Snake Eyes. Oh, we can't cover his face until the very, very end. And the same thing with Hiroki Sanada. He had to keep taking his mask off. I'm like, I know who it is. Mm-hmm. Keep the mask on. I want to see Scorpion. But he's like,
also the outfits were kind of crap. I preferred them in the original.
I agree with that.
Yes.
You're not afraid of the color in the original.
Right.
Yeah.
Why is it armor?
Color? No color.
Like the guy's a ninja. Remember all those ninja movies where they wore armor?
They clanked around and all their weapons banged around. And you could hear them coming. Well,
he looks cool.
Stream is saying, my wife thought we were watching Shang-Chi at the beginning. She's like, I've seen this movie, and they're like babies and twins, and they get separated. I'm like, no. It keeps going. It literally gets to where Sub-Zero's freezing them, and I'm like, you don't know what we're watching yet? She's like, no, doesn't he have like rings or something? I'm like, no, you think we're watching Shang-Chi? She's like, yeah, Shang-Chi. Are we watching that? No. Mortal Kombat.
Where's Aquafina at?
Yeah.
Fucking Falcor flying around
Real
at
quick,
the end.
let
I
me
don't
just-
know. Jesus.
Let me
I don't
just
know which one is a bigger insult to, Mortal Kombat or Shang-Chi.
I enjoy Shang-Chi. It's a good one.
One more thing, okay?
Go ahead,
To
John.
go back to him taking off the mask. That's why I like Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. Yes, he does take off the mask a little bit more in the second one. I haven't seen the third one yet, so when I do,
I have.
Yes, I know. But I like how he keeps the outfit on. We know it's Ryan Reynolds. He's making jokes. We don't have to see his face, you know.
Well, so that's the character. It's like
I
Dredd
love
with
it.
Carl
That's why I
Urban.
love
I
it.
didn't need to see Carl Urban's face in Dredd. I wanted to see Dredd's
Now
fucking
Owen
helmet.
totally know something I don't. Like, you know, he totally takes the outfit off like 2/3 of the
No,
movie.
he mostly wears the mask for all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's why I love Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, because he gets it. He's like, you know what? I love this character, and I know I'm supposed to wear a mask, and I'm still talking. People still know it's me, and I'm cracking jokes, and people are laughing, and it's fun. So,
Well, that's what it is. But
yeah.
and I hate this. It's like I wasn't intending tonight being like I'm going to shit on 2021, but when technically we're doing a versus.
Yeah.
So when we do that, it's like,
Then
okay,
you
yeah,
nitpick.
I'm gonna tear the shit out of it, because really up until we really started breaking it down, I went, yeah, it's fine. It was a good movie. There's blood, there's guts. Yeah, what's not to like? Man, when you start comparing it though, you're just like, God damn it, you guys really kind of missed the mark completely. Like you didn't even hit the target.
No, they deliberately missed it though. It's pure arrogance on the filmmakers' part.
I'll agree with that. Yeah, I think it's that whole thing of, well, I want to do that franchise. Oh, I love Mortal Kombat, but I have this idea of
Right.
what
It's
I
gonna be
want
my
to do
Mortal
with
Kombat, kind of like what I'm gonna do with The Last Jedi. So
I
hour and 31 minutes.
I will say this: the blood coming out of Scorpion and him freezing it and hitting him with it. That was really bad.
Yeah.
But like again, it's like gore and all this doesn't substitute character and story.
Yeah.
It's like if it's just gore, then I'll play the video games. This is what Paul Anderson understood. They're like, well, Paul, you're gonna have to make this PG-13. Well, it still did amazing at the box office because people realized that, well, it's not going to really be as gory. Like it's not going to be rated X or something for gore.
No.
So they're just going to say, wow, that was a cool story. I like the characters, man. I got, you come out, oh man, Liu Kang was awesome. Oh, Johnny Cage was the best. And, people were talking about stuff. And like, yeah, that fight Goro was pretty cool. Man, the ninjas were cool. Like, even my family, who I forced to watch, thought, this wasn't that bad. Like they weren't like, oh God, how am I gonna watch this? Jay's bugging me to watch it. And they're like, hey, that was okay. Like that, and like my wife's like, I like Johnny Cage. He was kind of funny. I like Liu Kang. He was pretty cool. So it's like she got into it a little bit. It's like, yeah, that was kind of cool. This was actually pretty good. I was like, right, it's actually pretty good because it's just a good movie.
Yeah.
And then it's cooler for us because if we love Mortal Kombat, if it's a good movie and you love the source material and it pays tribute to it, then it's a great movie. All you got to aim for is a good, enjoyable movie for the average person that's faithful, because then the average person likes it and the nerds like it, and then then it becomes legendary. This movie's like, oh yeah, it was cool. I thought that was a cool movie. It's like, yeah, but the Mortal Kombat fans are kind of like, well, I'm a bit disappointed with things. Like, well, it was okay. And now you're like, well, what am I supposed to rate this movie? Like, and then you go on your website or you go on your podcast, you're like, I like this movie. It's pretty good. I'll give it like a 3 or whatever. What does that mean? Right? It's Mortal Kombat. How is this not like a 10 out of 10 in today's audience? Like, this can't be, like, this needs to be better. Like, it's not that it's so garbage. It's not like, look, it's way better than anything Disney's produced or whatever, right? But
hands down,
the standards are high. Like, Owen already mentioned Star Wars, so I'm allowed. It's like Star Wars needs to be higher. We can't just be like, yeah, that was pretty good. What do you mean pretty good? It's effing Mortal Kombat. Like, which Mortal Kombat game did you play and say, well, this game was trash? It's like, hopefully the next one's okay. Like, you're like, this game's awesome. The characters are cool. There's more characters. The fatalities are crazy. The game's cool. The movie should be cool. It's 2021 Mortal Kombat. Yeah. If there's any negatives with Annihilation and this one, is that there wasn't the gore and it didn't have like the crazy powers. Well, now you can do that and get away with it. You can have a rated R movie do well. Mm-hmm. So you think Mortal Kombat's just going to print money now because all of the negatives of those first two movies are erased. It doesn't matter. Now we can have crazy gore and we can have crazy off the wall fights and we can have cool powers. It's like, let's not do that. Let's have a new character that no one cares about. Yeah. Huh? What happened? This is a drop in the ball that's really bad. Like, this is a big time drop the ball, and it needs to be beaten up a bit more.
talking
Where's the Pit
about
Fighter? I love Pit Fighter, Sean.
Yeah,
That's
Pit
it.
Fighter was great. Yeah.
Pit Fighter.
Well,
The
Jesse
other
Johnson,
midway game.
Jesse Johnson did a movie called Pit Fighter years ago, and it was
Yes.
actually fucking awesome. So,
Yeah.
it's not based on a video game, but it's still good.
But
Yeah.
this made me think of something though that I never really even put a lot of thought to it. When we first started playing the Mortal Kombat game, I remember on the console, J-Man, I think you said it earlier, we had to put in the blood code.
Yeah,
So
for
the
Genesis.
first game on Genesis was bloodless.
Yeah.
So we were a little bit more, I feel like, forgiving when that first movie came out and it's PG-13. It's like,
Right.
okay, people still die in that movie.
Oh,
Shang
yeah.
Tsung falls on spikes and they show it above camera. There's just not a pool of blood under him.
Right.
Fucker's still dead.
Yeah.
Goro falls off a cliff. People still
Yeah,
die.
the thing gets his head cut. It like he literally like Johnny Cage cuts it angular. It's like whoa shit. that was
Sub-Zero gets fucking stabbed through his gut with
pretty-
ice.
and
You know,
flies
just
and
so people are still dying in that. It's just not as gory.
Yeah, just
Right.
not graphic.
Yeah, exactly. And we were okay with it. And now it's like gore, gore, gore. And I'm honestly think about it. There's not that much gore in the new one either, other than the Kung Lao
It's
head
the Kung Lao
thing
scene. That's the only memorable scene. right?
and
Yeah.
ripping out the heart of Reptile. It's like what I think Raiko gets crushed.
yeah.
And the other
Jax's arms get torn off. That's kind of cool. They get frozen. And
they
torn
get
off.
they get
That's neat.
frozen and fall off, so no
Right.
blood.
That's
The
true, yeah,
wounds
it's little-
cauterize themselves.
Yeah, right. That's true.
You know,
And I did like freezing the blood. I thought that was just bad.
Yeah.
that was cool.
Cabal
But that's a Sub-Zero
catches
thing,
on
right?
fire.
Yes.
You know, and then at the end, fucking Shang Tsung basically grabs everyone, so you know they're coming back. You know, they didn't show him grabbing Kano just got stabbed or whatever it was. But
Mhm.
it's like, you know, that they're all coming back in the next one. In the first Mortal Kombat, them fuckers are dead.
Yeah,
they're
they're dead. Yeah,
they're not
Kano's
coming
dead,
back.
and it's like, wow, that guy was cool, and he's dead.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. But yeah, they're like what's not in the game of part of the first movie is that the Lyndon Ashby dialogue. There's no dialogue, so it's like they wrote all of that, and he came up with a lot of the one-liners right there. He just ad-libbed those and came up with those cool one, like the $500 glasses, all that stuff. And it's like they set up. Look, they set up those three characters in 1 minute per guy. You have 1 minute where Johnny Cage comes in, beats up these four guys, and it's like the guy's still standing. It's like, this is where you fall down. You're like, oh, it's a set. That's funny. And you're like, I got it. And then you get it. He comes in, he's like, oh, you want to prove that you're not just a fake. You want to prove that you're an actual fighter, not just a faker, right? It's like, yes. Sonya is after Kano. He gets on the boat. She's like, I gotta follow him to this boat. And Jack's like, no, Sonya, stay back. And she's like, I gotta go get Kano. They go to Liu Kang. Liu Kang's like, my brother died of tournament. I want to go kill him. It's like, listen, that sucks, but there's also this thing where saving the world, you have to take this seriously. It's not just you going to kill Shang Tsung. You're not ready to fight him. You have to prepare for this thing. Each character, it's three characters that got introduced very quickly. They had 15 minutes to introduce Cole, and all I got was that, oh, he's just like some lame fighter. It's like, but nothing cool. Like
he's kin down the line from Scorpion.
Right. Yeah. Like,
okay.
yeah.
And like, I'm sure there's other ancestors too. Follow that line's not straight. It has to veer somewhere.
If you watch that movie as a movie person, if you watch that as a movie person, you think Scorpion is the main character. Like, oh, he'll be reincarnated. You're like, oh, perhaps he'll be reincarnated, or he'll come back from the dead, and then we're gonna right this. Of course, because she's thinking, oh, this is like a regular movie. Oh, okay, so this guy gets killed, his family gets killed, so now his baby will grow up to be someone. Or you think Cole is the new Scorpion, and he'll get the Scorpion powers and fight. And that doesn't happen. It's like, so you're sitting there saying, well, why am I watching this? Like, as soon as you realize that Cole is not just Scorpion, like, I actually thought, oh, maybe Cole is the new Scorpion, and he's right. And that's why it's not Johnny Cage.
I thought that's what I thought that was his storyline, because they kept pushing that. Raiden saves the baby girl, that continues the bloodline, and then the spirit, which is trapped in hell this entire time, gets free, especially when he gets the spear from Raiden, and he's like, you know, basically, you're going to need this. I was expecting Scorpion to take over Cole's body. Boom. We've had new Scorpion fighting Sub-Zero, because even Sub-Zero does this whole thing where he goes, I forget what his name was in the movie, but he goes, I'm not that name anymore. I'm Sub-Zero. So now it's this transformation for all these characters.
Bihan.
Yeah, I'm not Bihan anymore. Yes. I am Sub-Zero. So now it would have been, I am no longer Cole. I am, and then Scorpion.
Isn't he
Yeah.
going to become Noob Saibot in the second one?
Yes, he becomes Noob Saibot.
Noob Saibot, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying the way that forget about what you know about Mortal Kombat. See, we know stuff. If you don't know and you're following this as a film, you're like, oh, this is Scorpion's story. He was wrongfully killed by the Lin Kuei or whatever. His child survives. She's going to pass on the lineage. Then it transitions to Cole. So you're like, okay, so this is the product of this lineage. Yep. He's going to inherit the power. Oh, this entire movie is about discovering your true potential, discovering your true self, discovering your inner powers. That could have been
arcana. Why his arcana didn't come in as quickly. Sure. And then the arcana is Scorpion's powers.
Exactly right. And then it's like, oh, no, he's just one of the fighters. There's a whole bunch of guys. It's like, but then what's the story of this? Stupid. Like, what is the story? Like, the story of Mortal Kombat 1 is still Liu Kang like defeating Shang Tsung because the 10 tournaments in a row.
The bloodline of Kung Lao. That is what we've been fed and beat over the head all of Mortal Kombat. It is the bloodline of Kung Lao is going to be the champions of the tournament, and that's what it's going to be. And now Kung Lao is dead. Liu Kang is not a Kung Lao by blood, so it's not a bloodline, and it's dead. They've killed the Mortal Kombat lore in one movie.
Yeah.
For nothing. Yeah. No one even cares. Like generic people would just why even have it? Don't even it's like, what is the point of it? I don't know. It's such a weird movie. It's not
weird. Yeah.
It's just weird. It is.
I've changed my mind. I hate this movie now. You guys changed my mind. I'm out. I hate it.
You know what?
You can't connect to it because they didn't think it through. Like nothing connects. Like, yeah, you can watch it as a, oh yeah, that's kind of neat. You know, they fight.
It's neat.
Thing at the end or whatever, right?
And stuff. Yeah.
But you can't. Yeah, if there's no fantasy storytelling here, you can't connect to it because nothing connects to each other. Right?
Nothing gels. Nothing works.
They fade to Cole. They have the baby, and then the next scene is Cole going to the fight. So they're like, oh, that's the baby. Like that's the descendant. Like that's how movies work.
Yeah.
It's like if the first thing we learned in film class, if you show a baby with ice cream and then you cut and then you show an ice cream on the ground and then you cut back to a baby crying, the assumption in the middle was that the baby dropped the ice cream, even though they didn't show the baby dropping the ice cream. And now this is the aftermath. That's like the first lesson of shots. It's like your brain connects shots even if you don't show it.
It's exactly what Jackie did last night. She saw something happen, and that's why she thought it was Shang-Chi, because Shang-Chi did that. You see the babies, they're adults later, and they're the main part of the story. So obviously she's thinking, well, she thought we were watching Shang-Chi, but she saw the same shit happening. That should be what's going on here. The baby is important, and that is because it's Scorpion.
Charlie, you know what you should do now is you should put on Shang-Chi and she'll be like, I'm watching Mortal Kombat.
I would probably, she'd probably be like, we can watch the good one now, because I enjoy Shang-Chi. I actually like of most of the Marvel movies that came out in that phase, I was like, I like this one. It doesn't tie to anything important. I didn't need to know a bunch of shit before I watched it. Awkwafina was not annoying to me finally in something, so I was like, I kind of like this.
It's a fun movie, but it's not Shang-Chi, so I'm torn.
Oh no, it's not. But it's not the Mandarin. It's not the correct 10 rings.
It's not a kung fu action. It's supposed to be a pretty kung fu action 70s movie, right? Like, but it's a fantasy Shaw. It's a fantasy. It's like Legend of Zoo or something.
It's a fantasy Shaw movie. That's exactly how you would.
It's no Legend of Zoo though.
It's no. It's oh my God! I'm not saying it's very it's equal to Legend of Zoo. I'm gonna mute your mic, Sean. Next outburst
like Storm Riders.
Outburst.
Of course, it's not Storm Riders. It's not. All right. Okay.
Moon Warriors.
Trevor comes back and redeems himself, so I'm okay with it. I like
Moon Warriors is awesome. If you haven't seen Moon Warriors, it takes like the villain will not die. They slice his eyes off, and he's still fighting. You're like, Jesus Christ, this guy's kind of shit. It's the best villain ever.
I saw that. It was a Monty Python movie. It is but a scratch.
Yes, that's the Black Knight. None shall pass.
Actually, this is a non-spoiler thing from Deadpool and Wolverine, though. But at one point, Deadpool actually does say, he says, we're at a bit of a low point in the MCU right now. So
yes.
I just love it. He says that. It's like they're actually admitting it.
I love that he pulled no punches.
Oh he does that quite a lot in this one. So I hope you guys like it, because I had such fun with it. I mean, is it perfect? No, you could nitpick it, I guess, but does it deliver what you want to see? Yes. So,
that's all we ask for sometimes.
Yeah. So tune in next week, everybody, whenever we are ranking all the Deadpool movies. Also, that also includes X-Men Origins Wolverine, by the way, because it's still Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. So,
gee, where will that rank? I wonder.
I can't imagine.
Somewhere.
So that's next week.
Yeah.
You already saw it? Yes, I saw it last night. I was at a press screen. So.
And special. That's why
yeah.
he's elite.
That's because
I'm in the top corner.
Disney Canada, right? Isn't that what it is?
That's why the action elite, not the action average.
Oh, I like that. That needs to be on a shirt, sir. I'm gonna work on that for you.
So yeah, it was funny because they started it at 10 a.m. yesterday morning, and it was supposed to start at 10:15. And so at about 10 past, they stopped it, and we're like, "What the fuck?" And then she came out and she said, "Sorry guys, it's supposed to start at 10:15. We got mixed up with another screening, so we're gonna have to start it again at 10:15."
You had to watch it 10 minutes over again.
Yeah, the opening scene again, which wasn't hard. It was
bonus.
Very entertaining, but
also you got it like the Mortal Kombat when we got it. Remember we got like the first 10-15 minutes of the movie before it dropped streaming. You guys remember that with the Mortal Kombat?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you got that whole beginning.
Yeah, I remember.
We got to see, and it's like I know the theaters were closed, but they could have still put this in theaters, and they didn't have.
I would have gone for sure.
I would have gone to see it that first time.
Yeah, for
Am
sure.
I glad I watched it streaming? Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Now, I mean, I'll go to the theater. I'm going to get the next one. I'll get the 4K of the next one. I bought all the animated stuff. I don't know if you know, there's if you bought the Blu-ray of Mortal Kombat 1 with the 3-pack with Legacy Season 1, the first Mortal Kombat movie has the animated movie, which is absolutely like awful. I had it on VHS somewhere, and I don't know where the hell it is now, but I'm so happy it was on that Blu-ray. It's terrible quality, but it is on there for you.
Okay. I didn't know it was on there.
Only like Conquest is not available.
The animated TV show?
Is Conquest
animated,
like
yes.
What is that, like a licensing thing that's holding it up? Because I can't imagine them just sitting on a property. Like they've released everything else that wasn't great. Why
Legacy?
Why hide Conquest like that?
I don't know. It should come out. I mean, it's freaking Daniel Bernhardt, man. He's awesome. Ciro, he's great. All the girls are like incredibly crazy.
It's like
good.
Baywatch with martial arts.
It's Baywatch with martial arts.
Well, somebody put it on there that apparently down here it was on like TNT after Nitro. So it was probably on way later than what I was probably watching television at the time.
I stay up till 2 a.m. watching TV, like every night as a kid. Like I never slept.
My dad kicked my ass if I tried to do that. Like weekends, like it was a little bit more lenient, but I like 10:30. Like on Monday, as soon as Highlander and Tropic Thunder were over, fucking love those shows.
Mortal Kombat Conquest is like find the stunt double, because I remember watching that show, J-Man. It was like you could totally, like Payola Montalban was the lead in it. You knew he wasn't in any of those fight scenes. It's like stunt person. Like Daniel Bernhardt. It's like, oh, he's doing his karate. Awesome.
Everybody and all the women, they couldn't fight for shit, and none of them could fight. But...
Well, they had like JJ Perry. He was Sub-Zero.
There's a few. I gotta rewatch that.
Martial artists in it. The only problem is they weren't the main stars. Show.
So we can all agree that Mortal Kombat 1995 is the winner for all of us then?
Yeah.
That's the general consensus.
Okay, so we actually did a poll on the YouTube channel, which I'm actually going to see if I can do for next week. So I'll rank all the live action Deadpool movies. So whenever I'll try and post that in the next day or two, and then you all can vote, and then we'll go over it at the end of next week's show as well. So here are the results, unsurprisingly. Mortal Kombat 1995 at 67%, and some drunk people voted for 23%.
8 people voted for it, because to get 33%, it's 16-8.
Yeah. Well, cocaine's a wonderful thing.
It is.
I didn't know there were 8 people who made Mortal Kombat 2021 who were watching this stream. That's awesome.
Oxy, they could have been on Oxy, like painkillers or something. Like they could have had like surgery and were like, oh, Mortal Kombat 2021.
No comment, because you have to find it next week.
That's right. No spoilers till next week, because we're going to spoil the shit out of it, right, Owen?
Yeah.
I'm going to spoil it on Saturday night. So if anybody wants to come to my stream on Saturday night, we're going to do open talk.
I'm out on Saturday, so
I
I
can
won't.
be there. I think I could make that one, Chamber.
Yeah, I'll post the link to everybody.
Yeah.
That'll be a lot of that might be a lot. Well, I don't think so. I think everyone's gonna like this movie, so I don't think it's gonna be as.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised. You'd have to be a miserable bastard not to like it, because the movie's just 2 hours of pretty much pure joy and actually giving fans what they want to see rather than insulting them like so many other movies.
One lady, one stuffy critic, she said that it was overblown, overstuffed. I forgot what else. It was a lot of overs.
But really, who listens to a woman's opinion when it comes to movies?
Yeah, and also whenever someone uses, there's like about 20 terms. I'm gonna make a list. The 20 terms that if you use one of these, you're done. Like overstuffed is like one of them. It was overstuffed. Okay, so you don't want. I don't understand how do you know what's overstuffed and what's not?
I don't understand you.
Is like any movie overstuffed? Oh, there's 35 extras in the back. There's too many characters. Like you don't know what they are. Like it's Deadpool and Wolverine. They're the main characters. It's clearly about them, right?
Well, she also said it was just fan service. I'm like, okay.
No
And what-
fucking shit.
Yeah,
Like-
what's wrong with that?
And I don't understand what that means either. What
Yeah.
is fan service? I understand what they think it means.
Yes, I know.
But-
I understand the concept, but have you seen the other 2 Deadpool movies?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Yeah, after Acolyte's 80% fresh, I can't listen to these guys anymore.
80.
No, because, like-
I didn't listen to before that.
No.
Yeah.
it's
I
not
haven't
Mortal
listened to
Kombat.
critics since Waterworld, okay? Because them fuckers were wrong.
Yeah.
And Waterworld is the fucking best. So
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. Saw it in the theater. My buddy and I walked out. We're like, "That was awesome! What the hell?"
Yes.
have you got it on
Mad
4K
Max
with like
on
the 3
one,
different
yeah.
cuts?
Yeah,
Going
nice.
back to Siskel and Ebert, I used to watch them all the time, and I
Me too.
remember every time I would be floored when they loved the movie that, like when Roger Ebert loved the Delta Force, I was like, oh my god, he's giving thumbs up to the Delta Force.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes,
Love it. I will die on that hill.
Yeah. All right. So next week we'll be ranking the Deadpool movie. So is this our first ever superhero? Or I kind of don't really consider it superhero, even though it is. I don't know.
Superhero adjacent.
Yeah.
No, superheroes. I don't know what you guys talking about.
Yeah.
It's X-Men running
Yeah.
around in costumes.
Yeah, it's like R-rated anyway, so we can get away with it. So no
We
one's
did
being-
do
Wait,
Phantom and stuff like that. So I guess that
That's
might
right.
have
That's
been-
right. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
It's an action movie.
It's all action. So okay. Oh yeah, and there's tons
Oh.
of R-rated action in this. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
Guns and killing. It's
Yeah, I
totally
mean,
fits.
like Deadpool and Wolverine beat the shit out of each other through this movie. It's so hilarious.
That's what I
so-
expect.
Yeah. So so you can find out where we all rank them next week. So does anybody else have anything cool coming up? Or
We're doing
let's
what's going on
see.
tomorrow.
Go ahead.
Well, tomorrow we're seeing Deadpool. Friday I'm doing the Fantastic Four thing. Monday I'm doing Legion. Saturday night we're doing the Deadpool talk. There you go.
Yeah. Friday. So our Kickboxer episode just came out Tuesday. It's the month of action. We've done nothing but action movies all month. Friday is Hands of Steel on our second show, B Action. Same link. It's not a new link. And then we end it with Rambo First Blood Part 2 next week. So
nice. Still my
I-
favorite Rambo movie.
yeah,
I interviewed Randy Couture today, so that will be coming out.
well, that's awesome. Hell yeah.
I spoke to him a couple of years ago. He's a nice guy.
He's very.
You know, I've never seen Rambo 2.
You mean First Blood Part 2?
Yeah, First Blood
Yeah.
Part 2.
Everybody calls it Rambo 2.
I-
Fucking First Blood
yeah.
Part 2 is too much of a mouthful of a name.
He named it that
I
just so
just-
he
I just
could name
need
the
to-
third one Rambo 3. So I mean, you
Yeah.
got to give him some credit.
Yeah.
I
They
will
figured
say,
it out. They figured it out. By
favorite-
then. They're like,
favorite one is probably Rambo First Blood Part 2, but I have so much fucking fun with Rambo 3 just
Yeah.
because it's just
I like
fucking
all of them, to be honest.
insane.
Yeah.
Oh, the first
I
one's like a perfect movie. Like
I agree.
it is a fantastic
The
movie.
first
It's
one is
just-
the best movie, but my favorite one is the second one.
Yeah.
Because he's such an action hero in the second
I mean,
one.
the first four, I like all four. I can't even, I would rank them. I would rank them 1, 2, 3, 4 only because that's the order they came out in. But I think
five.
they're all great. Oh yeah, there's 5. Yeah, that was all.
Yeah.
Five,
Really-
five
That's
is
the
fine.
worst.
It's Friday the 13th at the end, basically. So
Right.
you know, it's,
Yeah. Pretty much. All right, let's wrap it up. I'm surprised we haven't turned into pumpkins yet. Fuck's
I'm
sake,
sorry.
It's, 5
Yeah.
to 10. So Well, thank you for joining us, everybody, and we should see you next week for our ranking of Deadpool, or even see you online at J-Man Show at the weekend when he'll be talking Deadpool 3. So if you're watching, you are the action lead. See you next time.